So this video is about air compressors and in particular the ABAC Gentilin Ultra Quiet portable compressor.
Yeah.
We're going to do an out of the box, so what you get in the box, how to use it, how compressors work, and then how to maintain them.
Absolutely. So first of all, let's just take the box away.
As you can see, it comes pre-assembled. The only thing that we need to do is the handle, which goes into these here, slots in, adjustable in height, and then we can tighten those up here.
And then this comes with a 13 amp plug that you can plug into a domestic power supply, and a nice long cable to go with that.
Perfect, very good. So this is all set up and ready to go. How does it work and how do we maintain it?
Okay.
What we want obviously is air to come out at the other end. So how does that get to our spray gun?
So basically it's got a motor. All compressors have a motor and a tank. This particular model has the tank is in the frame. So when you switch the motor on, which you can do with this button here, you just pull that up, that will start running and it will pump air into the tank, and then it will stop when the tank is full.
Yep. So typically speaking, compressors, people assume because it's got a bigger tank that it's more powerful and will produce more air. That isn't actually the case, is it?
No, that's a really good point. This actually, even though it's small, this is the most powerful motor you can get, which will plug into a 13 amp plug. So small but mighty.
Brilliant. And this particular motor can be found on the 3 litre, a 24 litre and a 50 litre tank as well.
Correct. But for our portable site spraying purposes, especially for uPVC and things like that, this is a really handy one-man lift. It weighs 32 kilos, so it's a strong person's lift, but it's easily manageable to put this in and out of your van, or even carry it up flights of stairs we've done in the past.
Indeed. In terms of the features of this, are there anything in particular that are different about this compared to say a cheaper or bigger alternative?
Sure, great question. So this is an oil-free compressor, which means it doesn't have any oil inside, whereas other compressors on the market do. The benefit of being oil-free is you don't have any oil coming out of your airline, which could then affect your paint finish. So you don't need any oil filters or anything like that for that. It's really portable. You don't have to worry about any oil spilling out or having to top it up or anything like that. It's just a much lower maintenance actually.
Yep. And in terms of oil, obviously oil is not something that you want to be mixing with your spray equipment, your airlines, with your paints in particular. So
exactly.
to not have that aspect of this there is a massive plus, isn't it?
Yeah. The other feature of this is that it can run continuously. It's called it's called duty cycle. All compressors have a duty cycle. This one has 100% duty cycle, meaning it can continue to run. Whereas other ones on the market, it's not always obvious. The marketing people don't always put it up there, but if you read into the tech data sheet, some of them say 50% duty cycle. And in that case, it could run for a bit, but it would then have to rest and cool down before it can continue again.
Yep. So where the motors on these obviously heat up, they compress the air. The air is compressed. There is moisture in the air, so there is a few things that we need to know and understand about that in order to use this and maintain it, isn't there?
Yeah.
So the heat from this effectively could cause the thermal reset button to pop out on this, which we can see on the side here. Let's spin that all the way around.
That way, yeah. So that would be this button here.
There.
If it did get too hot, that would pop out, and then you just let it cool down, and you can push that back in, start it again.
Yep, absolutely.
A couple of other points that you get with pretty much all compressors. You have 2 pressure gauges. They're positioned here and here. One of them will tell you the pressure inside the tank, and that's automatically set. It just runs itself and charges itself up. And then the other one is adjustable by pulling up and turning this knob here, and that's the one where you can regulate the amount of air coming to your spray gun.
That's it. So the air is built up into the tank, regulated here, and it comes out of the fittings on the side here. Quite straightforward.
Very straightforward.
Very simple.
And in terms of maintenance, daily and weekly maintenance. One thing to bear in mind is you have all compressors have an air filter because they're sucking air in before they compress it. You want to keep the actual unit away from where you're spraying so that it doesn't suck or you'll overspray. Because on this model here, there's a filter inside there. If you were to undo that little bolt there, and that's just a paper kind of like a concertina filter, which keeps the air inside there clean. And then
going back to the moisture that can build up, we obviously have the tank, the air is in there. The air in there will cool down, that moisture will condense, and so you will find that there is water inside this tank. So at the end of every use, we need to use the drain valve, which is at the bottom here. We can undo that, and that will release the air from there. Once this is actually sat down in place, that air will push the water out that's sat in the bottom, and that will make sure that your tank is empty. Inside these tanks are also coated, aren't they, to avoid rust? And,
this model is, yes. So the risk with having water in a tank is that the tank can then rust from the inside. But these do have an anti-corrodal coating, these models, inside the tank, which inhibits that. That's a good thing.
Brilliant stuff. So in terms of the machine itself out the box, that is pretty much everything covered.
Absolutely.
Perfect.